Hi, Doc Orman here, physician, author, stress coach, and founder of the Stress Mastery Academy. I'd like to welcome you to this webinar on the top 10 hidden causes of holiday stress. The final two hidden causes on our top 10 list are just specific examples of our number one internal cause, expectations. The first of these is the expectation that everything will always go well during the holidays. Now, just because we desperately want and hope that everything will go well, obviously doesn't mean that this will actually happen. In fact, as we've already identified, with so much more typically going on during the holidays, there is much more likelihood that not all of it will go as we please. It's important to know both that this is a very common expectation and also that it is usually unrealistic. There's actually a much better way to go here, and this is to assume just the opposite. Actually assume that not everything will go as you want during the holidays, but that whatever happens, good or bad, you'll find some creative way to turn it into something useful or positive. Now, as human beings, we all possess the creative ability to do this, but it's not a coping skill or a mindset that's highly promoted in our society. Thus, it might appear to be something that isn't available to you very often, when in fact it always is. Another common expectation to close out our list is to expect others to always behave as you prefer, especially during the holidays. Again, this also is not a very realistic expectation, as most people are not going to think, feel, or behave exactly as you might do. Yes, we may have our own internal personal standards, and yes, we might think they're pretty good, and that others should have them as well. But when push comes to shove, our own personal standards are simply our own personal standards or preferences, and usually nothing more. They are not necessarily more right or more moral or more appropriate than slightly different standards that other people might have. So here again, we need to actively work on overcoming our automatic tendencies during the holidays to judge friends, family, and other people negatively just because they don't act or view the holidays exactly as we might do. So there you have your top 10 hidden causes of holiday stress: expectations, added responsibilities and the internal causes that can lead to that, trying to change or control other people, memories of past holidays, particularly when negative events occur, unwanted emotions, blaming yourself for others, failing to anticipate certain problems or delays, using food, drugs, alcohol to cope with holiday stress, expecting all to go well, and expecting others to behave as you prefer. So those are your top 10 hidden causes. But remember, they're not the only ones. There are many other internal causes of stress that can also come into play during the holidays. Also remember that these additional internal causes are the very same ones that come into play with many types of stress we experience all year long. So the more you learn about the internal causes of stress in general, the better you'll become at either preventing or coping with stress, not just during the holiday season, but every day of the year as well. And this will clearly give you an advantage over other people who don't have a clear understanding about the internal causes of stress in general. Well, I hope you've enjoyed this webinar on the top 10 hidden internal causes of holiday stress. And as I mentioned to you at the outset, I've got two very cool gifts for you just to thank you for attending. The first one is a 32-page PDF ebook on holiday stress that I wrote and upon which this presentation was based. You'll find additional discussions and illustrations of all the top 10 hidden causes discussed in this webinar in this ebook, along with some additional tips that were not covered during the presentation. For example, this ebook contains additional discussions such as what if something truly tragic happens during the holidays? What should you do if you're single, divorced, separated, widowed, or otherwise alone during the holiday season? And how should you deal with financial problems should they occur and become a source of added stress during this time of year? So I sincerely hope you will download this free gift, read it, enjoy it, and hopefully continue to learn from it. Your second free gift is a series of 4 related ebooks that I wrote under the banner Stress Relief Secrets Revealed. I have packaged these 4 ebooks along with the Holiday Stress PDF document into one downloadable zip file which contains all of them. These 4 ebooks will give you a much broader and deeper insight into my unique philosophy for dealing with stress and some of the skills and strategies that I use every day to successfully cope with stress in my own life. The first book in this series, which is pictured on the left, is called 9 Big Myths About Stress That Are Keeping You Stuck. Here I introduce you to popular myths about stress that you probably have been indoctrinated to believe are true, but which are actually quite false. The second book on the right is called The Ultimate Method for Dealing with Stress. Don't manage your stress, banish it. This book goes into the 10 key reasons why you probably shouldn't manage your stress. And then it introduces you to a powerful 3-step coping method, which I have found to be far superior to stress management. The third book in this series, on the left, is called If You Think You Know What's Causing Your Stress to Occur, Think Again. This book provides you with some additional training on how to recognize the hidden causes of stress, which is much broader and deeper than the brief introduction I was able to give you here in this webinar. Then the fourth and final book in the series is called There Are Only 5 Things You Need to Master Any Type of Stress in Your Life. This book goes into much more depth about what stress mastery really is, how it differs from stress management, and the 5 essential requirements for you to develop true stress mastery in your own life. All of these 4 ebooks are very easy to read and contain incredibly useful information, so I hope you will download them, read them, learn from them, and benefit from them. Once again, I want to personally thank you for attending and listening all the way through this webinar, and I hope you've gained some valuable insights here and that you will give these top 10 hidden causes some thought as you go about your holiday activities this year. Also, if you like what you learned here, please be sure to sign up for and then download and read the 2 free gifts that I've made available for you. Just wait a few seconds after the end of this webinar and you should automatically be redirected to the sign-up page. If for some reason this doesn't happen, you can always go to the beststresshelp.com website and you'll be able to download them just as well. So this is Doc Orman signing off and wishing you a happy, healthy, and stress-free holiday season.